right, welcome back to the DFW Shed Sessions Podcast.
Oh, man.
I got to say, man, I think this is going to be an exciting episode.
Man, Lou, I ain't going to lie to you. I know I've said this before, but I really mean it this time. I think this is going to be the best episode we had.
You think it's going to be the best
I
one?
think so.
Okay. All right, well, before we jump into it, I want to introduce the great peoples. We got my brother, J Ell Groove, always keeping it in the pocket and keeping it solid. We got the lady that handles everything behind the curtains, Professor Mel Grill. Professor Mel Will.
Mel Grill, Gangsta Grizzle.
Yeah. Yeah, see
Professor Mel Grill.
I want to say grill because we grilled it up. So we have a guest. We have the Miss Rachel Patman.
Y'all clap it up for her one time. Rachel. Yes, sir.
So, Rachel, now I believe you told me you're from Fort Worth, right?
Yes and no. Fort Worth is the metropolitan area of where I'm from.
Okay.
If you can believe it.
Okay. So is that like where you grew up or?
So I grew up in a very small country town south of Burleson, south of Cleburne.
Oh, okay.
And it's in Hill County. My family's ranch is in Hill County, Johnson County, then Hill County. So.
Okay. So how was you introduced to music?
That's my grandmother. So she had this band called the Granny Band in Paw Paw because there was one old geezer that played the mandolin, and she liked to close with gospel songs. I grew up Southern Baptist. I sang gospel, so she had me come in and sing Blue Moon of Kentucky by Patsy Cline, and I closed with Amazing Grace, and sometimes this other song about, One Day at a Time. Oh my God. Just pulled that out of thing.
Wait, One Day, is that like a gospel song?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a hymn.
My mom, growing up, my mom used to sing that song all the time.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus. Yeah, that's the one.
I never heard it.
Yeah, that's.
You never heard it?
I've never heard it. I may have heard it and just didn't know what it was.
You slipping, Dwight.
Yeah, you.
Dwight Williams, you slipping.
Sir.
Dimple, y'all slipping.
Yeah, you took me back to my childhood. You said that, so okay.
I hope it was a good one.
One day at a time, Lord Jesus.
Well,
Yeah, and it was an interesting childhood because of her. She kept it really musical, but I used to go to the senior citizen areas with her, the little senior citizen centers, and they had bands, and she actually became a very popular band on the circuit, so she got called to the Fort Worth Senior Citizen Center, and when that happened, holy shit. I mean, there were all hell broke loose. There were so many senior citizens there. They had like buses, like bring them there to go dancing.
So that became like a act, that was the thing to see.
Right. Well, exactly. That's kind of, I grew up knowing how a band, you practice, how the dynamics can change, and how to vote people off the island.
Oh wow.
I've definitely seen those fights when I was younger.
So when you say vote people out the island, are you talking about like kicking people out the
Yes.
band?
But when you're over 60, they give so little shits. It's not even funny.
Really?
I think you know what? I think that I'll believe that's because it gets to that time where you've done it so long, where you
right. I mean, you live so much life to where it's like you just say F it. You just say F it, and it's like, and it's like I'm gonna say whatever it is I want to say, do whatever it is I want to do. It's like, I'm out of here in not that much time anyway. So
yeah, it's like toddlers and senior citizens will tell you the absolute truth, no matter
for
what.
sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. That's what's up.
Yeah. So okay, so I got that you're an artist and a singer. Do you play any instruments or?
No. I mean, I played the saxophone in high school, the baritone and the alto, but no, not really. I mean, I haven't really picked it up in a long time. I picked up an alto in college, and I had an idea to take lessons and get, your muscle memory kind of brings you back, but.
Why was saxophone your
sexy.
instrument?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
All right. That's the ladies' instrument.
All right.
Man.
It is
Say
very,
less.
very sexy.
Say less. Okay, so growing up, you hear you're more so inspired by your grandmother and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then so you get a little bit older. What was your introduction as far as you being behind the microphone? What was your introduction on that?
So my mother, I'm half Colombian, so she's from a very small town in Colombia called Villavicencio, and it's outside of Bogota. When you start to go that far in the mountains, there's not a lot of anything out there except for narcos, safe houses, and orphanages.
Okay.
So she was from one of those orphanages. My grandmother, on her side, adopted 11 children from Colombia, brought them over, and found them all homes. So in the Bedford, Euless, and Haltom City area, there's like a small population of Colombians because of her. And she was a singer, an actual singer. So she flirted with some opera. She did church. She won Miss Texas. I mean, she was really beautiful and really, really talented. But her voice is very melodic. So when I started to sing, and my voice was a little like it is, a little less of the dainty lilting on the evening breeze. Mine's more like a karate chop, right?
No, your voice. I say this because I've had the pleasure of playing with you before.
Oh man, you carried us, yeah.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure, and her voice, it'll definitely hit you in the throat. It's very soulful. It's very, all of that, man. And so continue. Go ahead.
Oh sure. So she really started. I guess by example, encouraging all of us. So my sister sings too, but she doesn't sing anymore. My brother, who's a Marine, he actually sings, but it's amazing. He's just this, dynamite, give it all you got, like the kind of guy you want on your football team, or, having a gun behind you, watching your back. But then he was Gaston in his high school play, and he was amazing. Like he was just so good. And we didn't know he could sing until he started singing at the play. And he didn't tell anybody.
This is an older brother?
Younger brother. He's my youngest brother. My other brother does not sing, but he is a nurse, and he saves lives in his own way. So that's great.
How many siblings do you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. Maybe we'll talk about that one day, but that I know of.
I'm with it because, listen, like even in my family, Papa was a Rolling Stone. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, so my mama was a Rolling Pebble. So, a
rolling
I like that
all of that.
lot.
So I definitely understand. I understand the sentiment.
And I think that I'm older. I've always loved my father, and I've always loved my mom. But I think now that I'm older, I'm able to kind of understand a little bit more what he was going through. But he's not in the double digits of wives yet. Will he get there? Who knows?
Possibly.
Who knows? I mean, there are people running for president again that I didn't think were ever going to. But I mean,
that's another conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who the hell knows? I mean, it's 2023. Anything can happen. So, but no. So
you had Kanye West run for president.
But
twice. Jesus Christ.
To answer your question and end it is, I had 3 stepsisters growing up, and they were with me since I was 5, and they really influenced all of the soul, hip hop, funk, rap, everything. They're from Houston. They're from the School of Hard Knocks.
H-Town.
They're what you would call mamitas or cholitas type of thing, when we were much younger. So anything they listened to, I listened to. So
cool.
that rounded out the Patsy Cline gospel to NWA, Master Ace.
Oh man.
yeah.
So you would say that they had a little persuasion of the music
Absolutely. They were so cool. I mean, I wanted to be cool, and I was not.
So in your siblings, where do you fall?
I'm in the immediate middle. So
okay.
3 above and 3 below.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh, wow.
gotcha.
I've always been, I guess,
the
more
center
of
of
a mediator.
attention.
Right.
Absolutely not, actually. That's one above me.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, got you. So you mentioned that all your other siblings are into music. Do any of your other siblings do music professionally like you do?
No, and thank you. That's nice of calling me professional. But my sister,
You wouldn't be here if we didn't consider you professional.
I appreciate you. I'm still getting used to it. So my sister, she's recorded, but I think just other priorities took over in her life, and she wasn't able to do it. But she's got an amazing voice as well. I mean,
nice.
but it's more like my mother's, that really nice, dainty, beautiful, crisp note.
So let me, since you say that, let me ask you this: so you got is your grandmother still with us?
Yes, and she comes to the balcony club sometimes.
Does she really?
Yeah, she does.
Dope. Okay, so you got your grandmother and you got your mother that was doing it right. Is there ever a situation where they call themselves like giving you tips or say no, Rachel, you should have did this or you should have sung it like this? Is there ever that situation?
It's never advice per se, but I do hear like, I like that. You know what I mean?
And we know what that means.
Yes.
Our older generation, they're a little bit. Sometimes they're a little bit more subtle in their critiques.
Yes. She'll be like, that was
that one. Do that one.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that one though.
Yeah. Okay,
there we go. Yep.
That mean it was trash, but yeah, don't do that one. Do the other one. Cool.
She's too polite.
Being politically correct, I guess.
That's hilarious. All right, so moving on. So moving on, you grow up a little bit, and then you become a lawyer.
I do.
You become a lawyer. So what made you go into, well, first of all, let me ask this. So of course, Miss Rachel, she is for those that don't know, of course, she's a lawyer. What made you go into, and we'll get back to music in a second, but what made you go into that profession?
There is a cliche answer, which if anybody gives you that crap about, I just want to help people. I mean, if you really do, then they're working for, the Center of Legal Aid and the strictly pro bono type of outfits that I did it. I wanted this because of, I have, I guess you could call it like robust energy. Like, I never sit still. I never stop moving. My brain does not shut off. I've had insomnia for the better part of a decade. That's probably why music fits really well into my profession.
Okay.
And I'm working on it. I work out a lot because I expend a lot of energy during the day just to be able to go to sleep. It kept my mind occupied in law school. I mean, I was able, you read 150 pages a day, and you're not expected to get through all of it, and then you're expected to stand up in front of everybody and perform and answer a question on the spot, and you've got to be prepared every day. That was like the ultimate challenge and the ultimate way for me to be like, come on. I know I have the energy for it. I know I'm capable of doing it. Let's fucking ride. Let's ride.
Right.
So I have a brief question with you being a lawyer. So when you look at, I don't know if you ever look at lawyer shows, do they look like it's like this is BS?
You know what the closest thing to an actual courtroom proceeding I've seen, have you ever seen My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's actually fantastic cross-examination.
Yeah. Okay.
His character is awesome.
Yeah, because he worked his butt off in that movie. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, how many fingers am I holding up,
But everything else, you'd be like, nah, that's
I mean, I don't really.
That ain't real.
Have you ever seen those interviews with actors and they're like, I don't watch my own movies. Like, I can't really watch lawyer shows. I never got into Suits. The guy smokes weed, doesn't go to law school, and then takes the bar exam for New York State. Kiss my.
What about Perry Mason?
Oh, the old school. Loved that show.
Right.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That's my mother speaking. That's a great show.
I really love that show.
She loves that show.
And Manlock.
Yes, another show that my mom
I never got
knows
into
more
Matlock.
about than
I love Matlock.
That's my grandma's stuff.
Perry
Perry Mason, Matlock.
Perry Mason, but not Matlock. Okay, so lawyer. So what type of lawyer are you?
So I guess you could call me corporate.
Okay.
I started out real estate. I'm into petroleum a bit, but I would call it corporate. I usually worked for companies, so you became what the company needed in your early stages of practicing. So you became, oh, absolutely, boss, I'm on it, and you learn it or you don't. You have a job or you're fired. It's sink or swim, baptism by fire. And that's actually what drew me to the profession. As much as, yes, helping people. I mean, obviously, we all want to help people. I mean, you guys are here because you want to help people in the music industry. You want to, in a big way, right? You also want to tell a great story, but being a legal practitioner, you want to help, but you also want to do it in a way that you could do it best. So your vein of where you feel comfortable to give help needs to be thoroughly thought out, and for me, that's where it really lied.
With your with your passion for music, did you ever or even now do you ever consider looking into being a entertainment lawyer?
I've never thought about it. What is entertainment law? It's really just knowing the right people and then having a grasp on contracts and having negotiating skills. If there ever was an opportunity for me to step into that realm, I have experience in the negotiating and contract development realm. Yes. Okay. But I don't know anybody famous.
I got you.
Yeah, because I know there's one thing as far as musicians, producers, and artists should definitely
should definitely know their stuff as far as the entertainment.
Yeah, because since from things I've heard from other people, and even with certain movies I've seen, such as the TLC movie or the New Edition. They talk about how they got screwed, but some of them they didn't have lawyers. Or they didn't have the entertainment lawyers to talk them through their, I guess, contract.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, but then a lot of times you also see that like the lawyer, like if you have a lawyer that was given to you by the label, the lawyer is more so working for the label than they are for the artist, and it'll be like they'll tell you whatever it is that they need to tell you, but they're only giving you that information, or they're only doing what's best for the label. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to the artist. They're not telling you that this deal is trash. You know what I'm saying. You need to
until you go unless you go hire your own lawyer. Somebody else to look at it. Hold on, this is not right.
Unless you hire a Rachel Patman.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so you still are practicing a lot, right?
Yes, actually today I had to draft a couple of motions for settlement. I prepared for trial. I forgot Big Mike's name this one time, and I called him Eric. And it was because I had been preparing for trial for 4 days, and I was playing at the Amplified Live on Saturday. And oh my God, I felt so horrible. So I texted him and I'm like, I vow to you, and I wrote out like, this is a binding contract, we are now attorney-client privilege. Like, I'll never forget your name ever again. I'm so sorry. I know his name. I was just completely off.
You can remember lyrics, but you can't remember.
Right. I can learn 3 Sly and the Family Stone songs in 30 minutes, but I cannot remember Big Mike for the love of me. So
and that you know what, it's actually dope because like I said, I've had the privilege of playing for Miss Patman, and
thanks.
And she's one of those. I don't know. It seemed like it's becoming a thing where a lot of singers got pads or cell phones and they
Oh,
reading the
yeah.
you know, they reading the lyric, and she's never pulled out.
All the videos I watched, I ain't seen it.
She's never pulled out like she has those lyrics down pat. So Eric, stay on her, cause if she could do that, she can remember Eric. So stay on her, brother.
Do you ever use music to kind of get you in the mood when you're preparing for a trial or anything like that?
Oh, I use it to get me out. I mean, this is an exit strategy. I need music. So, as a matter of fact, we came up and we formed our version in law school of the Legal Society for Musicians, and they had, what would you say, support a scholarship for those that are either in law school or they've just graduated and they're musically inclined. I had the idea of working with my old alma mater to see if they were interested in keeping that going. And when I was there, they had it, and then I donated some. When my firm was running and gunning last year, I donated some money for a scholarship of similar, kind of in a similar vein. So it's cool because it's like working out or meditating or whatever it is. The thing you need to counterbalance you. And in law school, for me, it was music. And we had a band in law school.
So let's unpack that real quick, because
Sure.
I've never heard about that before.
Yeah.
So the what do you call it, the legal something music?
Legal Society for Musicians.
Legal Society
Yes,
for Musicians.
a gentleman named Ramon Macias IV and I started it. We kept it going. We started
When did
our
this start?
version of it. That was 2013.
Okay.
It had been established as an organization in our law school, but we actually went and played gigs. I don't think
so a bunch of lawyers just getting together
and a judge. We had a judge.
a bunch of lawyers
Really?
and judges getting together.
Wow.
And,
That's dope.
Yeah.
implementing music.
Yep.
Or whatever. So how does that?
I just have one big jam session.
Right.
It was a blast.
Nice.
Okay.
And I
yeah,
lost
unpack
out on the
that.
name. I think it was called Rachel and Ray and the Depositions or something, but I was really pushing for Rachel and No Fault Divorce.
Okay.
I lost.
You lost that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's super interesting, man. So was this like not a union, but
It's an organization. It's
it was just a bunch, so a group of y'all just got together and like, hey, we all do music or we all like music.
Well, it was the gentleman I referenced referred to as my ex-boyfriend,
Okay.
but regardless of that, I mean, even if we never did, cross that boundary, he is a phenomenal musician in his own right, no matter what. So, for us to do something together, it made sense musically. He was, so like I said, I'm half Colombian, raised with my 3 stepsisters, and they loved Selena, and they loved Norteña, Tejano, all of that stuff. So I have a Latin side, I do some, bolero, I do different types of classical Spanish music, and he is from El Paso, so it was a perfect fit for both of us musically.
I don't know if that'll work at Nate's, but I got you.
Man, if we ever did a cumbia just because we wanted
We
to,
should.
Somebody from freaking TJ is gonna be up in
We
the
We should. But that's what's up though. Like, and that's why we love talking to different people, because it's like you never know. Like, you never know that. There's this lawyers organization that go out and do music gigs and stuff
I hope
like
they
that.
do. I hope they still do, because I remember when we left. I mean, I don't know who took it over, because we were really about it.
Right.
And I don't know if anybody. You never know who's a very beautifully gifted musician until you have to be the example to get everybody out. So once we got out there, people came out of the woodwork. We had a cellist. I mean, we had a stand-up bass player, a flute, bunch of guitar, people like that. One guy was like in the Army Corps of, I'm not sure what you call it, the band version of the Army Corps.
Army band.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Army band or Army show.
So that's where performing really started, and it was cool. We played around San Antonio. I've played in Austin on 6th Street. I've played in Hello
6th
Days.
Street, a wild boy.
And listen,
Yeah.
trust me, I know.
That's 6th Street real.
So was that your first experience of a band?
Outside of my grandmother, like when I'm 11 and 13.
No, I'm talking about like you being.
Oh, yeah.
So that was your first, the lawyers, all the lawyers getting
Foray.
together. Yeah, like that was your first experience of like being in a band.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I think it was Ramon's like, I don't know, 5th.
Were you like the primary front person for the band, or?
At the time, I would have said yes, and he would have said no.
Gotcha.
And I think that's probably where I'd healthfully put that. He was a phenomenal frontman in his own right, but now that I'm by myself, I know where my strengths are.
Okay.
I think when I was playing with him, I didn't really know that. I didn't tap in on those yet. So now it would have been more of a, like if we were to play together now, it would be more seamless because I know myself a little bit more musically. Does that make sense?
No, perfect.
I actually have a question along that line, right? So I was looking at, I think it was you had played or you had sung at Amplified. It was February.
I've been there a few times.
You had on these leather pants. You know what I'm talking about?
Did she have some wine?
You were singing Very Superstitious, and Mike Pugh was on bass.
That's still more than 3 times.
More than
Okay. Yeah.
And I wear leather pants a lot.
Okay, so when I was looking at your videos and that particular video, by the way, because I'm a singer as well, your voice is
Beautiful.
very powerful.
Jesus Christ, man.
Very. I said when I looked at you, I was like, no offense.
No.
Okay. When I looked at you, I was like, oh, she's gonna be very dainty. But she came on the she came on the mic and I was just like, wait, hold up. Where did that come from? And something else she was doing is your dancing. Something else she was doing was your dancing. Your dancing, you saw all the confidence, even in your voice, you hear the confidence. Your dancing, you just command the stage. You even command the musicians.
Thank you. Well, that I really wanted to make sure and clarify. I trust them, and I hope to Christ they trust me now to where I know that they think that, that we're all there as a team and everything, but when I want something, it's not because I'm demanding it and because I know better than you. It's because they trust me enough to go, okay, this is going to sound great. Or like Adam, when I talked to him, Adam Reed, a guitarist I play with, like the guitarist.
Shout out to Adam Reed.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The co-captain of Rachel Patman.
Yes. By the way, like just to say a couple of things about him, he is one of the most talented, humble,
very humble,
interesting, gracious, diplomatic, and all-around wonderful people that I have ever met. I mean, not just in Dallas, but sincerely. And that was through Jackie Dawn.
Yeah, I like Jackie.
Man.
Wait.
We gotta have Jackie.
Sorry,
on the show.
I went away from your question.
Yeah. Well, okay. So my question is, so you were saying about the first band that you were playing with, right? During the lawyer, the union. So my question is, so you mentioned you may have not known where you belong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you may have not known where you belong at that time. And I brought up this question because on that video, you cannot tell that you ever, went through that. I would have thought you came out the scene, with that confidence. So my question is, what did you do from that union stage of your life up until now? What do you do, or what are you doing, or what did you do that kind of amplified your confidence on stage to command,
That is a very complex question with an equally complex answer. Well, and I'll try to be succinct.
Prince used a school word. Succinct. that's a word.
Hey man, it's attorney.
Right.
I mean, listen, she got it.
You start Googling.
Right.
Right.
I don't even know what that means, but
Brief and short.
I'm really probably going to use that later.
Oh, brief. Okay. There we go.
Brief and short and to the point. Because, like I said, oh man. So I know we don't know each other, but and looking at me on stage, you can't tell that I am. Oh, man, it takes a lot to get me on stage.
No way.
It's actually,
I don't believe
like,
it.
I'm sweating right now thinking about it, and I'll turn red at some point, but it's actually interesting. If there's a choice, the reason I don't have social media is because I don't like the spotlight. I actually don't like to be in front of people.
I feel that.
I don't want anybody to, and it's not that I care about what people think. I have such a crazy freaking standard for myself that I am notorious for, I guess, keeping my own feet to the flame. And it gets out of hand sometimes. I think surrounding yourself with people in life outside of music and within, like I said, Adam Reed, been blessed to know this guy over here and for you to come and play. But
You're welcome.
He's all right.
Graceful, gracious. It really does matter who the hell you keep around you. You are the resultant equivalent of the 5 people around whom you hang around with around the most, right? So I met my amazing husband, Brian, who is just the ultimate balcony person. I mean, he's the ultimate kind soul that feels like a warm place to land.
Shout out to Brian.
God. Shout out to Brian.
Seriously, y'all have no idea what you're missing, ladies. Like, it's just the ultimate life achievement to find somebody that I can, and equally I give this back, but when it comes to music, when it comes to all my insecurities that you don't see on stage, but I bring with me every single time.
Does she give it back, Brian? Brian, does she give it back? He gave a thumbs up. She give it back.
We've rehearsed
He
that.
plays a major part in the confidence as well.
Brian? Mm-hmm. So, yes and no, because I truly believe confidence comes from you.
I love your honesty.
Well, I mean, so I've learned that the only person that can help somebody drowning, whether it be addiction or whether it be, depression, the only person that can really help them is them at the core of it, right? You can help that person all you want, and there are various ways to do that, but you can't make them get better, right? And it's sad, especially I come from a family where I have a person very close to me with addiction problems, and I, you can't decide for them. You have to do what you can to support that, but it's their decision. So me on stage, it's my decision to, and I've had days where I'm like, I don't feel like me, and I don't feel confident, I feel bloated, I feel slow, I feel not as, on my game or something. But you have to leave all that shit behind.
You do a very good job. I mean, on
you.
every video I looked at, I really couldn't tell anything.
And you know what? I think that's a great segue into my next question. With you being a married woman, how do you balance, artist and wife?
And lawyer.
And lawyer.
Well,
that's a whole nother person too.
Yeah, of course we got that, but even with the of course, since this is DFW Musicians podcast,
Absolutely.
how do you balance artist and wife?
That's so funny because we just had this conversation. So I don't. I do, but I don't, because, man, I love how you put that question. Your marriage, not your relationship or your home life. That's marriage.
Another gorilla.
Because that's real.
Yeah.
Your marriage is a full-time job in itself, and we make time for each other. So, and when we don't, we talk about it. And that's the strongest suit, I think, or one of our strongest suit, aside from us shit-talking as our love language. We are actual phenomenal communicators, whether it be us being sad or whether it be us being honest with each other. Like, you're not giving me 100% of the time that you said you were going to give to me. And this is from him to me. Wow. I'm the one that wants to go boom, boom, boom. Our honeymoon, we didn't sleep because we were scuba diving. We're going all over the place. And he's like.
And making sex.
Well, and he was like, when's that going to happen? And I'm like, but we're on this scuba diving trip where we dive 4 times a day and the most beautiful reefs ever. And he has the most solid point. And, you know, if you don't, and I think that's where a lot of relationships kind of crash and burn if they're on that trajectory. If you don't listen and you don't take freaking criticism, but supportive criticism.
Right. Yeah.
So we are getting better at it. That is one of our works in progress, but I think we have a good grasp on where we need to make time and when we can.
That's amazing.
And when I need to say no.
Right. Because that's important too.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So, as an artist, songwriter, so what is a red flag you have with like a band or band members?
You could be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put this as.
Nah, don't.
And you can look over there at Jay too, because I know you got one for him.
Necessarily.
Red flag.
No.
We need to turn your mic down.
I've never seen a red flag from him. But you know, I don't know you that well, so I'm just kidding.
Talk.
I will say, if they enter a conversation with, you know, I've been going through a lot, you know, and then they proceed to tell you exactly what it is that they're going through. Somebody that's working through hard times will go, yeah, man, it's been tough. And like, they'll say a little bit about it, but they won't go into like, my kids, you know, were taken by CPS, and my wife, like, got our car repossessed, and I had to go tell my other baby mama, and I'm like,
what?
Woe is me.
And I'm there's just a lot of too muches there, and I don't really know how else to describe that, because it's not that they're a bad person or a bad musician. I just know that this isn't going to be a worthwhile relationship because they've got simply too much going on.
Got too much going on. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that.
That's.
I mean, even as me being a band leader, I look at all of that stuff, man, because it's like you wanna be sympathetic and or empathetic,
absolutely,
to people, but then there's a business side to what we do, right? And it's like, okay, I'm not gonna say no names or too much, but you know, one of the musicians that I had playing for Funk Your Feelings at the time, you know, he ran across this situation, and you know, I put him to the side, and I respectfully, I was like, hey man, is this gonna be a thing, or is this gonna, you know, are we good, or you know, because I don't need us being on stage and then you know, SWAT come in and SWAT come in and
my God,
and drag you off stage, like, you know. So I definitely respect that point of view. You know?
I'd rather that than I've got one small story.
Okay.
I was practicing with a Latin band, and this is an actual Latin, like the percussionist.
Not the lawyers.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is one before I met Adam and Jackie Dawn.
Okay.
So they were, the percussionist was an actual Latin American percussion musician. What does that mean? That means all kinds of different types of drums. And usually those types of people are professorial. Like, so he was a professor in a small college in Dallas and I'm not gonna name it, but he, very talented. I was dancing as I'm practicing because, in my opinion, if you don't practice the way you perform, you're not gonna freaking perform that way. So I'm like, doing some cumbia moves, and you've seen me dance. I'm not stripping, but I'm not a bored. I'm Colombian. I am, you know, I grew up with my music.
Her hips don't lie, people. Her hips don't lie.
Half Colombian, right? So, so I get a call that next day, and I was at a coffee shop, and I was working, and you know, this guy sitting by me, and he's like, he notices my conversation gets a little more intense. And it's me talking to the girlfriend of the percussionist that called and told me, don't dance in front of my boyfriend.
Okay.
I said, excuse me? And she calls me like woman to woman. You know, it's inappropriate
Hello,
for you
Barbara,
to do
this
that.
is Shirley.
Right.
So what would you have done in that situation? Well, you probably would have done something like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. You know, it won't happen. You know, I'll do whatever makes you more comfortable. Yeah. She caught me on the wrong day. And I was like, am I your effing therapist? Sounds to me like you need one of those before you give me a call back to apologize.
Oh my God. You got some personal issues going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And you know what? That's the thing. That's one of the things that us as entertainers deal with, like especially, you know, when we dealing with like relationships and stuff like that. It's like I'll say this is why it's a part of finding it's hard finding a partner, right? Because we are entertainers, and you know, a lot of people don't know how to separate the stage from real life.
Yes.
And you know, now I will say this, it's a part of as entertainers, it's a part of our responsibility to make sure that, you know, our partners know that, you know, this is, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, if I'm on stage or if I'm on whatever, that shouldn't, that shouldn't automatically say, I'm effing this person, or I'm whatever.
Yes.
Like and so that's again all these great segues. You being a female in the industry, you being a female in
allegedly.
The allegedly.
It's 2023.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You never know. Hey, Brian, what are you into, bro? but no. So you know, you being a female in the industry, you know, let's talk about some of those struggles that, you know, you go through. You know, whether it's being hit on, or let's talk about that. So
if you can't see the giant capitalized block letter print of "fuck off" on my forehead, then I don't know. Right. No, but I wasn't always like this. So, you know, you just learn to draw boundaries as quickly as possible. Yeah. I've been really freaking lucky, really lucky. Like, I will shout out to Adam and his amazing wife, who has she has been the most supportive person. She's been incredibly laid back, fun, you know, a beautiful human being, not to mention a beautiful woman. But, you know, that's actually pretty rare for me to see, because most of the time you play with married men and blah, 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 and, you know, like, you know, man, thing, you know, just if I wasn't married, you get all that crap, and you know how often, every day, honey, every effing day, every day, and it's usually not so pronounced. It's usually just like, you know, if I wasn't married, or very like subtle, if you weren't married, or you know, you looking like you do today, and I'm like, yeah. And thank you. You know, usually I don't bring it up.
Right, but did you go over the set list though? Like like did you learn the tunes?
Right. How do you deal with I guess you can say people from the crowd that maybe get too friendly or too?
So I'm cheating a little bit because I do this professionally every day, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of second nature to me to be like, oh, come on now. Are you joking? Really? Oh, okay. We're good. We all right?
No, I kind of want to unpack that, because that's a dope and very honest sentiment. To kind of because of what we do,
you got a network.
You know,
there's a fine line.
Like even and it's a very fine line, and I guess we have to kind of develop that. Well, I call it fake friendly.
You mean being from Dallas?
Ma'am.
I'll take it. But we have to kind of develop that like
That
fake.
Chick-fil-A personality.
I would like
pleasure.
to think. Don't mess up
pleasure.
my
pleasure.
encounters.
No.
I like to think they genuine.
Hey, man,
Some
the
are.
happiest
Some
people.
are. I know a manager. He's nice guy.
Would you like more Polynesian sauce?
That's a job requirement.
but no, like having to the I'll even go. Hey, how did you like the show? Because truth be told, I don't care that much. Like you paid to be here. I'm being paid to be here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't all the way care that much. However, it's still my job as an entertainer to engage with you and say, hey, how did you like the show? Or how did you blah whatever blah blah blah. Excuse me. So it's like man, like trying to define that line between like somebody thinking that I'm flirting or whatever, and like people, if y'all don't see, I have huge lips. So it's like, what I'm saying, when I lick my
Rachel,
lip,
you can go ahead and answer the question.
so it's just because I'm talking to you and I'm licking my lip, it's not because I'm it's
because your lips dry.
it's because they're dry, bro.
You're getting that LL Cool J on.
They get dry, bro. It's not. I'm not flirting with you. They get dry, bro. But yeah. So
Well, there is a stark difference between you licking your lips and LL Cool J licking his lips.
Thank you.
No offense, but
Thank you.
I think he get paid $25 every time he licks.
that's fine. I'll pay it. I'll pay it every time.
I got 100 in the bank right now. Give me 4 of them.
Hey Brian, you good? You good, bro? You good? All right. Well, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. This is
I don't want to let go what you said. You actually answered the question.
Yeah.
You answered your own question when you said, you still have that friendly persona when you step off stage, and I think what you're really saying is you never stop performing. So you don't.
That's good. Yeah.
Good customer service.
You develop a character.
Yes.
You develop a character. Like even for you, you've met every time I've had the pleasure of playing for you, you've met J Ell. You rarely meet Eric. You know what I'm saying? If ever.
The first time I played with you, I met Eric.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Maybe.
When you said go to hell when I asked for a solo.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, that was Eric. I have a good memory.
You asked him to do a solo?
I was like, you want one? He's like, hell no.
Yeah.
But very politely.
I don't know. That could be Jay too.
It wasn't so pronounced. It was very like, no.
So next question. Anyway, the weather is nice in Dallas. The weather is nice. I definitely don't remember that, but yeah.
It's
but
okay.
I don't think you.
You were very impressive. You are an impressive musician, but
I agree.
Yeah. And humble. Did I mention humble?
No, because he's definitely not that.
Hey man, listen. Let me rectify that real quick. So for a lot of us artists, and musicians, we have this thing where somebody will give us a compliment, and we'll be like, "Oh man, nah, I ain't." And I'm good, bro. Nah, bro, I need to learn from you. That. And so I call I call that being fake humble. So on my 33rd birthday, I promised myself that, I'm not talking about in the sense of lying to myself.
Sure.
But I promised myself that I would stop the fake humble thing. I know I'm that guy. Mm-hmm. In my lane.
Right.
I know I'm that guy. I know I do not suck.
Yes.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? I don't suck. I'm not trash.
Because you let it suck itself, right?
I do let it, you know what I'm saying? But because it's not going to suck itself. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
thank you.
So I got to a point in, on my 33rd birthday, I promised myself, I'm going to stop being fake humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to, because I feel like words are important. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So when somebody genuinely gives you a compliment and say, yo, you're pretty, you're beautiful, yo, you fine. Yo, man, you did great or whatever. It's either going to be, I'm not going to downplay what they said. For me, I'm not going to downplay. I'm either going to say thank you.
Yes.
Or I'm going to say I agree.
Or you're going to say appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, but whatever. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if somebody roll up to me and be like, "Yo, man, you did a great job," and then I say, "Nah, man," I feel like that's kind of feeding into. That's kind of feeding into my downfall. If that makes sense. I feel like because again, to me, words are very important. Words
and it could be a turn off.
Well, words can build you up. Words can break you down. The definition of a belief is a thought repeated.
Yes.
So if I keep saying nah, I ain't that good. Nah.
Hey, but if you really think about it, man, words could really break you down.
You know what? Because I feel like I feel like the interview was going too good. I feel like the interview was going too good at one point.
Well, you saying something? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But anyway,
thank you.
So when you say, "Yo, you were great," or "You were,"
Yeah. It actually,
I agree.
It is a skill. It's a skill. It's a developed skill to say thank you and not have to deflect with comedy or self-depreciating words, as you said.
Right.
That takes energy, though.
It does. I have
and I ain't got it.
I have a friend. She is a Ford model, and she's my best friend actually, and she is drop dead gorgeous, 6'1" Brazilian. I modeled 30 pounds ago and 9 years ago, 7 to 9, and it wasn't for Ford. It was for something much smaller, much more regionally based. And we did that. We met.
OnlyFans was the OnlyFans.
That was not around back in the day, or we would have been rolling before. So no, I'm just kidding, Dad. So
shout out to Dad and Grandma.
Yeah.
And Mom.
No, they know that's a joke because I can't. Never mind. I can barely be in a bikini. So,
Brian, you good? All right.
He knows me too well.
Shout out to Brian. Over there.
Shout out to Brian.
Just taking it all in. All right.
No, she is one of the most beautiful people, but she is just now learning how to take a compliment. And I think that she's finally starting to believe how beautiful she is. So I think a lot of it is like that fake humble, but a lot of people do it because they just can't stomach people saying good things about them.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like it's not just
perfect.
it's not just like, I gotta be fake right now and like make them think that I'm, that, well-rounded human.
Yeah. Well, you just saying that.
Exactly. And being uncomfortable in silence and being uncomfortable with having the ball in your court verbally. She's grown so much and she's now able to be like, thank you. And that's all it takes because she's just like, no, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
I do that too.
Right. I mean, because again, it go back to what I said. I feel like words are important and words feed into your spirit. When you continue to downplay yourself, when you continue to downplay your talent, when you can continue to downplay, the good things that you're doing, innately you start to believe it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then I have the saying, or feelings are the enemy of proficiency. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, yeah, that's true.
You know
Very
what I'm
true.
saying? So
I thought you said feelings are the enemy of efficiency.
Proficiency, but efficiency works too.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Efficiency. I'm sipping Hennerade. So it's like you start repeating those things, and you get to a point where you start believing those things, and then so now your progress drops.
Yes.
Now your attitudes, the confidence that you have, even on stage, that kind of drops.
You start carrying yourself the
way you're speaking. So it's like start speaking what you believe.
Yes.
Now, you are not better than anybody.
No.
And nobody is better than you. right?
So would you say, and this is for all of y'all, right? So along that line, would you say that a lot of musicians and singers, they stunt their growth in their artistry because they can't grasp that or overcome that?
Not the successful ones.
Okay.
I was just about to say
the
that.
ones that are successful, like they have this, and the thing about it is a lot of people look at it as cocky, arrogant. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at it as that. I'm gonna say regular people look at it as, you know, cocky or whatever. James Brown knew he was that dude.
Even though you didn't know what he was saying.
As a matter of fact, like, you know, people, you know, when he started out, if you do your research, when James Brown started out, people would say, people would approach him as, "Hey, James, what?" Oh no, it's Mr. Brown.
Yep.
It's Mr. Brown. You call him Mr. Brown. You feel what I'm saying? It's like it was that, and of course regular people are gonna look at that as cocky, and it's like, no, I know who the F I am.
Right.
Absolutely.
I know who I am. I know who I am, and I know who I'm capable. I didn't call you for this gig. You called me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And I really feel like a lot of people.
I'm gonna start saying it.
As a matter of fact, whether you're a musician or not, like just in life, walk in who you are, believe in who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like don't I'm not even going to say don't let other people, don't downplay yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Going back to your first mention of me on stage. So what you see now, I've worked that out. I know who I am, and I know who I'm not.
Right.
I think more importantly, I know who I'm the hell not.
Right.
And I have, you know, thanks to my experiences, which I'm 34, but I've lived probably 10 lives that we can't even get through. But there are many things in my life that have led me to now know, man, I've got one shot, and I love who I am because I've worked my ass off to get there. Right. And now I'm not going to let it go to waste, and I'm not gonna hide it anymore. And I used to have to downplay my intelligence or my talent or something because somebody was either jealous or confused. And the small town vibe, I was a big slut because I wanted to wear stuff that exposed my midriff and sing and dance and have a great time and be a girl at 17. But you know what? You can't do that in those types of settings. So as soon as I got the hell out and I got my head right, that's who was on stage.
Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this too. Is like, if you're going to carry yourself that way, one main thing is if I'm going to carry myself like I don't suck, I need to not suck. Right. I need to be able to
Rule
bag
number
that
one.
up.
Oh yeah.
I need to be able to bag that up. But then two, it's going back to the thing where, you know, I don't feel like anybody is better than me. At the same time, I'm not going to carry myself like I'm better than anybody else.
Right.
And it's actually you know, having the mindset of, you know, still when I'm humble towards other people unless you
suck.
No.
Oh.
When I'm humble, unless you call yourself trying to pull my car, because I got a full deck.
Talk about it.
I got a full deck. I got a whole bunch of draw fours, skips,
I
and
thought we were
all
talking
that.
about Pokemon at first. Your holographic Charizard? Okay.
I had a holographic Charizard while you playing, and a holographic Bulbasaur while you playing. Why are you playing?
That's like $1,000 card now, right?
Man, and I had all of those, and I have none of those. Anyway, man, listen, Lou Paul, I said it. I think this is the best episode.
This is some good. This is
very dope.
Some good Javo right here. I just made up a word.
Hey man, listen.
Good Javo.
Hey man, listen. So
yeah, I'm keep that one.
we gonna take a real quick break because Lou Paul got to go potty.
Hey man, don't be putting my business out on that.
You already did.
Hey,
you kind of already.
Don't repeat it.
We can edit that.
Actually, that was me.
We're definitely not editing.
Yeah, we're gonna come back and have some more good Javo for y'all.
Yeah, man, we got Miss Rachel Patman.
Yeah.
We got Miss Rachel Patman in the building having a dope conversation. This is DFW Shed Sessions. Everybody, we will be right
back.
After these messages.
Yeah. See, I'm a photographer. You feel what I'm saying? So if they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, it's my job to make sure they hear every last one of them. I got you.
DFW Shed Sessions. I got to tell you, man, it's been some great Jave. I think that's what I said earlier. some great Jave.
You gonna make that stick?
We was spilling and sharing with each other. But let's go ahead and get these social media tags going on. So, Professor Mel Will, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. At the handle is at Professor Mel Will. That is Professor PROFESSORMELWILL. Never mind that you can see it on the bottom of the screen right now. But yes, Professor Mel Will.
All right, my good brother J Ell Groove.
Tis I.
Yeah, where can we find you on social media?
Man, you can find me a couple places, man. On Instagram, that is who is J Ell Groove. That's who is JELL Groove. You can also find me at J Ell Groove. I got a couple other conglomerates. I do photography and stuff like that. Actually, be dope if I can get a collab with Miss Rachel. Mm-hmm. One of these good old days. And you can that's another Groove project. Just another Groove project. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
I got you. And then of course the almighty Funk Your Feelings. You can find that band on Facebook and Instagram. That's FUNKYO Feelings. And then and if you can't find me on there, man, you can find me on Christian Mingle, OnlyFans, and Pornhub.
You just added that one.
Huh?
You just added that one.
Added which one?
He just the way he slipped it in real quick, then he turned his head like he didn't just say it.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the Community? Are you perform?
You're not in a doc. They just put out a documentary. You're not in that documentary.
We'll talk after. We'll talk after. Brian, you good? All right.
So you guys can find me at Loophole Beats on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'm always doing something in regards of music or actual reaction videos. But anyway,
yo, real quick. I think we need to do something, man.
What's that?
With DFW Shed Sessions.
Uh-huh.
I think. And this is totally random. We didn't talk about this, cause he's just as confused. The look that he got on his face, he's super.
I'm like,
he was like, bro, cause we need to get on.
There's a light bulb going on somewhere.
But yo, real quick, what if this is a rare moment? What if we did something in the DFW Shed Sessions group? Because you do a lot of stitches. Mm-hmm. You do a lot of stitches and reaction videos, right? Mm-hmm. What if we did something to where we got one of the musicians in DFW Shed Sessions to post something and you turned around and did a stitch? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say we had a drummer or like singer or whatever, and then,
do like some type of reaction video to that and put it in a DFW.
Because I'm thinking about the one you did with me, right? When I posted that drum video, and you did the bass and the keys with that, which is super dope, by the way. Go check that out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? What if you did that?
Yeah,
with one of the members in the group.
Well, I will say this because the best.
It can't suck though.
Actually, I wouldn't even mind if it sucked or not, because a lot of stuff that suck gets a lot of attention, if you believe it or not. When I tell you the stuff, Anyway, yeah. If anybody's open to do that, I'll definitely be down to do that. But it's the way of doing it is so much. It's really easier doing it on TikTok because they have thing to where you can do duets, and I do a bunch of duets.
Duets,
stuff.
that's what I'm talking about. Not stitches, but duets.
Yeah, I do a lot of that on TikTok. So
hit up Lupal Beats. Hit up Lupal Beats for the members of the DFW Shed Sessions group. Hit up Lupal Beats or whatever, and if it's dope enough, we can see if we can get Lupal Beats to. As a matter of fact, we might even try to get a feature with Lupal Beats and J Ell Groove on drums.
Yeah, we
might even be able to assist that.
Yeah, man, make some things happen.
Some things happen, man.
So speaking of DFW Shed Sessions, also make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Which is where our full episodes are posted, and I also post bits and pieces on others such as TikTok and Instagram, and we have a Facebook page now called the DFW Shed Sessions FB page, and also on TikTok and Instagram, it's called DFW_Shed Sessions. So make sure you guys go check those out and follow us on all the social media platforms.
Miss Rachel, what about you? Where can we find you at? Or where can we find your social medias at?
Right. So now you can find me on Instagram, which is blowing my mother's mind. So I've never had one. So it's Rachel Patman Music, and that's Rachel, the normal way of spelling it, Rachel, and then Patman is like Batman with a P. Do you have any idea how many times I still get asked, was that with 2 T's? How do you spell Batman? Yeah. So Rachel Patman Music, the @ sign, right? And then I think it's the same thing on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've never had social media. Let me rephrase. I had social media when it first came out. Like, I was in the group that was waiting for my college acceptance letter so I could then get an email address attached to a college to go and sign up for Facebook.
because a lot of you younger people don't know.
You was on the Facebook.
I was on the Facebook.
The Facebook.
I was right after MySpace.
On Facebook, you had to be in college to even be on Facebook.
Yep, right. I remember them days.
Yeah, man. And I was part of the wave of posting effing everything.
Wow.
Every drunken night.
So I'm making up my bed.
Right.
Now I'm finna brush my teeth.
No. So where it says
no.
Melody is doing this.
Yeah,
and it's like,
Yeah.
People in your business.
Yeah.
Is listening to and then like some bullshit cliche Led Zeppelin lyric. Like I was in the AOL Messenger era.
Oh man, AOL.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Now look condo.
See, what's hilarious?
Yahoo Messenger.
Yes.
You got mail.
Right.
God. And you know what's hilarious? My husband is 6 years younger than me. He thinks he's an effing millennial. This man has no idea what we're talking about. He was, how old?
He don't know nothing about MySpace then.
What do you mean CD player?
Yeah. He doesn't know a
Walkman.
Yeah, come on. So
hilarious.
Yeah, we'll let him think. If the Gen Zer wants to identify as millennial, we'll let him do that.
So he skipped the era where you had to take the cassette out and wind it yourself.
What's a cassette?
Right.
Like, does he even know? My first cassette was Alan Jackson and Patsy Cline, and it was like a combo that I the only cassettes were around me were from my grandfather because I was with my grandmother so much. So I was like the only ones I could like sneak out and do a little thing. My first CD was Will Smith.
Wow.
Getting jiggy with it?
Yes, Big Willie style.
Yeah.
Were you one of the ones that also had like the music on your voicemail?
Of course. Of course.
That was throwback for real.
Because I wanted them to enjoy waiting,
Waiting for you to call them back.
Hi, this is Rachel. You've reached Rachel.
No, it was probably tweet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Ooh, there goes my shirt.
Don't start. We're gonna sing that
I know.
song.
I know. We're already here. That's what's up, man. DFW Shed Sessions, man. This has been a super dope interview, man.
Yes, it has.
Super dope conversation, man. And so we didn't discuss this with you before you got on here, but we don't just call you on here to interview you and ask you questions like that. We call you because we actually want to give you your flowers.
Not real ones.
Not physical flowers,
Man,
but
fine.
Not even a fake ones.
But
There's some yellow ones. Never mind.
that's decor.
Start taking random.
Decor.
We want to give you this pillow over here.
I'm taking something. I don't care.
Great things.
Right.
I'm leaving here with something.
But no, we call you on here because we're actually a fan of you. We actually a fan of you as a person and you as a musician.
Very dope.
That's so
And
nice.
we think that you're very dope, and we just want to give you your flowers and let you know that we appreciate you and your contribution to the musician community.
Yes.
And we just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you,
For doing what you do, for being who you are.
That's gonna be great. Cause I call you if I need you to look at the contract or something.
Right.
I did say that at the break.
Yeah, part of this is sucking up too, but no. We think you're a dope artist. We think you're a dope artist. We think you're a dope individual, and like I said, part of what we do is not just giving advice to the community, but just shining some light on some super dope talent that's in the DFW community, and we appreciate you so much, man. It's so beautiful. Clap it up for it one time.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful audience.
Yeah. Let's do that, man. But nah,
Of course, you put that freaking clip on.
But yo, man, we Lupal, we also got a recurring segment.
Yeah, man. Which one we want to do first?
Which one we want to do first? I think we want to go with top 5 first. Top 5. So we got top 5 in the building. So this is just your top 5. It don't necessarily.
I'm not nervous.
Don't necessarily have to be in any particular order or anything like that.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna ask you your top 5 something. All right, and I'm.
Come on, sandwiches.
and I'm about to let you know what it is. What are the top 5 songs that you like to perform?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they don't have to be in any particular order, but like just your top 5 when you on stage and you
Mojo.
And you're like
Sorry.
Do you have PTSD from freaking
I just wanted to see your reaction.
videos?
so the top 5 songs that's like, yeah, you know what, I know I'm about to kill this one, or what's your top 5?
Well, I don't know about kill it, but I do love to sing it, and especially when somebody like you or Bacon or somebody that's on that rhythm section, right? Of course. There's a band called Groove Theory that is just freaking stellar. Her and her, I guess, husband then, I don't know if they were now, but oh my God, they're just incredible. They're from the 90s, early aughts, and they have this song called Tell Me, and it's one of the most, I mean, I was singing that song in the shower when I was 9, and I didn't even know the word. Like, do you ever know phonetically how to mouth a sound to sound like a word, but you don't know what the word actually is?
Right.
So I did that.
Wow.
I actually did that. Right. I did that learning Spanish, so I actually didn't know like any of the words growing up when I was like 4 and 5, and like learning English. So I learned English first, but I learned Spanish pretty close to about 7 to 9, and it was through music. So I didn't know the words, but I knew how to form the words. And so once you get in, you hear the words in conversation and you start to know when the words start and end, then you know and then later you learn the meaning. Okay, great, immersion, it works. That was one of the songs. I listened to it way too early. I think I was really young, and I finally figured out what the words actually said, and now I perform it.
Okay.
Because it was like a personal favor that I asked my guitarist to learn, and he said yes. That was great. And so.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's one.
It's like childhood. Yeah, sorry, that's way too long of an answer. Let's see. I will say one that makes me feel in my absolute confident element when I'm there. Okay, I got to get there. It's Rock Steady, Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite notes to hit. And if you hit it, it's so great. Sometimes, even if you don't, it still feels great and powerful and empowering to
Especially
sing.
when you got a dope band behind you.
That's what I'm saying. And you got to have you have to have a rhythm section that's tight AF, because if you don't, I mean, it's all gone. And
Professor Mel Will might feel your sentiment on that particular song.
One of my favorite songs to perform to.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful. Another one will probably be, and this is actually a recent development. We were requested on stage, and you know how money talks. We performed "Whole Lotta Love" by Led Zeppelin, and I rocked the shit out of that.
Really?
I absolutely destroyed it. I'm not even gonna lie.
Is it in your rotation now?
It is the second time we sang last Thursday for the second time, and it went over so well. And I'm like, I don't know why I've never sang that. You know what it was? I had an ex-boyfriend before the great gentleman Ramon, but another boyfriend of mine was
Brian, you good?
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, I only say that to respect him as a musician because he actually is that person.
Yeah.
So before then, though, there was this interesting man, and he was not a mean, but he was like, really, you're going to sing Led Zeppelin? Really, Robert Palmer?
Right.
I'm like, okay. And I guess at that time I wasn't developed enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to sing it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it got in my head that I couldn't sing Robert Plant. Sorry, not Robert Palmer, Robert Plant. Another one would be, I think it would probably be one that I'm never going to sing in public. Probably not, but it's a Whitney Houston song. And I finally have it. I'm trying to go through which one it would be. God, what is the song? I'm going through it.
Is it slow or fast?
Don't walk away from me.
I have nothing.
There it is. Nothing. I have nothing. That's it.
You wouldn't perform that in person?
So I say that now, but I have a great friend. His name is Tony Duke, and he is a concert pianist. He emphasizes in Indian music. He's an Indian American, and he is phenomenal. And he comes over every other Monday, and we tackle the I'm never going to sing them in public songs. So we've done Alicia Keys, we've done Whitney Houston, I've done Patti LaBelle, I've done some other artists. So yeah, Linda Ronstadt.
That's dope.
So, yeah,
I like
and
that.
I trust him.
Never say never.
Right.
So I'm not going to say never, but I did. But I hope that I'll withdraw the sentiment and sing it.
I can get on my nerves.
All right.
You all right?
Go ahead, keep going.
He's having limp Mike syndrome.
Limp.
Yeah.
Limp mic.
Really had to keep going.
There's something for that, I think.
Bluetooth.com. Holla at us. You know what I'm saying? All right, so you got one more.
Yeah.
Right, one more. Dig deep here.
Top
So
five.
it's just any song ever
Your top five that you love to sing.
that I love to sing. There's a song. It's called No Me Queda Más, and it's by Selena, and it's probably one of the most like. Have you ever heard Selena sing her slower songs? Mm-hmm. So
Couple.
She
So
is. I mean, yeah,
passionate.
she's known for "Bini Bini Bam Bam"
Yeah.
and "Como la Flor," but she's got a couple of older bolero Mexican songs that are just all emotion and passion.
Yeah, so
I mean,
much passion.
oh my God. And that's one of the things that made her so unique is she was very much a Patsy Cline in the way she showed you what she's what she meant through her vocalizations, her vibrato. I mean,
and she did it so phenomenally to be the age that she was. It was like she was so mature.
And she did not even speak Spanish.
Right,
she was
right.
English-speaking woman.
Totally.
So
made me feel like I could.
No Me Queda Más is probably one of my favorite songs of all time to sing, just in general. And I can't ever sing it because no one, I mean, where am I going to sing it? But, you know, the shower works.
Not at Nate's. This ain't Chili's, but it ain't Nate's either. Nah, it's all good. That's dope, man. All right, so our next segment, we got to talk about.
Talking about the top songs I like to perform when I sing.
No, it's just her.
Okay.
No, it's just her. But no, we definitely got to talk about playing off key. All right, so this is our version of what grinds your gears as your pet peeves as an artist or a musician or whatever. All right, so what's that one pet peeve that you have? That one thing that you can't stand that you deal with? Being an artist, you know, what is that?
I say this with all the respect that I have for people that I've, if not myself, but other people in my band have asked to come on stage with us or perform with us. Okay, those people, you know who you are. You guys are amazing. We'd love to have you on stage every time we can. It's when people assume, or they demand, or in one case, ask me to get off my own stage.
Wow.
Really?
And I am, at that point in time, my husband saw my face, and he was just like, oh shit. Like, it's gonna go one way, or it's gonna go another way. So I had to choose right then, am I gonna be Ratchet Rachel, or I'm gonna be...
Ratchet Rachel.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
My girlfriends at my bachelorette party know Ratchet Rachel. We're very acquainted with Ratchet Rachel,
Right.
but she's also, you know, she's not a pushover, and she's never gonna. But there is another option, and it's not being a pushover, but being diplomatic.
Yeah.
And knowing that this decision is going to affect how people see you right now. So if you let too much give away. So speaking of Vegas earlier, I play poker actually. Every year I go to a poker tournament where I am one of 23 women out of 295. And I played every year for 4 years now, and I do okay. I usually, you know, finish decently, but every year's better. It's very inspiring to see some of these people that are in the top, you know, the top 10 when they get to the $100,000 tables, because you're just, I mean, it's because it's a big buy-in. So you were
is the word is inspiring? Is that a diplomatic word that you're using right now?
No. It's true. It's not just diplomatic. It's truly inspiring because I'm like, man, how does this person? I've seen somebody with pocket aces, which means you have two aces what you've been dealt with in Texas Hold'em, just not give away that they have the killer of a hand, which, by the way, I've lost with that hand before.
Which is so hard to do.
So I chose to do that face when this happened.
That was your inspiration.
That was and I'm so grateful for the skill that it helped me develop whenever this kind of shit happens in the literal spotlights in my face. And I'm just like, absolutely. We're blessed to have people on stage with us. Please come and join us. And then they asked me to get the heck off my own stage. And, you know, I want that to be my reputation rather than.
I had a similar experience.
What the hell? Yeah, I bet you have.
Like I had a similar experience. I won't mention any names, but it was one person in particular. This was before the show started. I had this residency, now granted the person that they were asking about, you know, dope, phenomenal. I tell people all the time, I don't sing, I talk on notes. You know what I'm saying? I don't sing, but
kind of a Rex Harrison, My Fair Lady thing.
Know, something like that. So, you know, but you know, before the show even started, they brought them. They brought their person to the stage, and they were like, you know, I love you so much, but can you let her sing? in my show. And I was like, you know,
that's so disrespectful.
And so for me, why again? The person that they were referring to was an absolute one of my all-time favorite singers in Dallas.
Yeah. Oh.
But
that's big.
because I'm a very rebellious person. Like I will do something like just because you asked me to do something in the wrong spirit, I will do the total opposite.
The ultimate anti-hero.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so it was like, but it's like from a professional standpoint, that's just something that you just don't do. You don't do that, especially when it's somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? When it's somebody else's show. So I've experienced something like that before. You know, so I got that.
How do you deal with people who are trying to come up and I guess you could say ask you to sing something and you're like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Request.
Not you. I don't want you to respond.
I hate that word.
I don't want you to respond.
Listen, people. We take requests. We just don't play them.
Right.
Rachel,
how do be a song that nobody heard
you.
Right.
How do you deal with that, especially if it's a song that you never sung? Or a song that, you know, is nowhere on your playlist. Like, how do you, a drunk person just say, hey, can you play? Can you sing?
Free Bird. Stairway to Heaven.
It's hilarious that y'all said exactly what y'all said. So, everybody has their price, okay? Everybody. I don't give a crap who you are.
I love it.
Everybody has their price. Mine was $300 to sing Freebird in Austin at Friends on Dirty Six. And I absolutely sang the crap out of that song. And it was awesome. And because I had a phenomenal guitarist with me. And it was random, and that's fine. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't mind requests because, and maybe this is where I'm going to sound a little bit too self-assured.
Okay.
I can do it. I think. I mean,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Unless it's one of those artists that I will never sing, like I was just talking to you about, like the Whitney Houstons, the Patti LaBelles. I mean, it's going to be difficult for me to rationalize myself within that talent parameter, but I can get there. That with years of practice, but. With the Freebird crap, $300, absolutely.
If you want Freebird from anybody on this couch, 300.
There it is.
300.
I put
anybody
a number
on this couch.
Yeah, you put.
I'm with it.
It's a whole different thing.
And it's
boy.
not a bad number.
Money coming to the situation.
That's
boy.
not
I'm
a bad
with it.
number.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So
It's not a bad number at all.
And it was the dude who was driving the price. It wasn't me. I said no. Actually 3 times. And the guitarist I was playing with was like, yes. She meant yes. She's gonna sing. And I was like, no, you're right. So
cool.
no, I mean I try to do it. You know, I've been asked to sing, like a lot of people in our shows, and I'm really grateful that we have actual fans of good music that come to our shows. So they'll be like, can you sing Annetta James? And I'm like, yeah. You know, do you care which one it is? They're like, no. So fantastic, because there's some that I like to sing and some that I don't.
It's part of your set list anyway, so
it works much better when you say artists over a song.
That's it.
Because you could, you know,
pick.
especially like if it's a known artist, you be like, more than likely you're gonna know something.
Right. And
That's
it really,
what's up.
the guitarists and the rhythm section, their knowledge is going to drive whether or not we can do it. Because chances are, pick me for your trivia team. Pick me for your trivia team, because I know movies, I know music, I do not forget stuff. So pick my husband.
You can't because you're a lawyer. So.
Well, and that
helps.
comes
Unless it's
with
a name.
the territory. That's
Unless
kind of,
it's a name.
that's a skill. No,
Oh yeah, unless it's Eric.
or somebody that's not famous, right? But I can tell you who was on the original cast of Tom Hanks' soap opera.
Oh,
Anyways,
wow.
But and then my husband is the sports guy, so he's the guy you want
Got
also,
you.
and everything else.
Got you.
So yeah, no, I don't mind it. I really don't.
Cool. All right, man. So we got one more. We got one more burning question. All right, man.
Burning.
So this one is called Gig Tales. All right. So we want to know about that crazy gig story and or experience that you had as an artist. You want to know about that? Well, you don't have to be crazy, but you know, just that one that stand out. What you got? That hum made me feel like I need to take a sip of this Hennerade.
Hennerade. Is that what I think it is? I mean, it's just how it is. Okay.
I said what I said.
Because we made Steak Diane and we had to go buy cognac, and the only cognac that was locked up was Hennessy. and the total wine, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't understand. So, okay. I was going to go with one story, but I might go with another one.
Go with the other one.
Well, and it's not a bad, but you actually made me think about it, because it was, somebody that wanted me to sing something. But I had it in my mind when you asked me that question, and it left me.
You want me to ask you the question again?
Oh, we'll go with the first one.
Well,
it don't matter.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're like, just say something instead of sitting there with your thumb up your. Never mind.
Hey, Brian, you're all right over there?
Depending on what you into. You know what I'm saying?
We're not here to judge.
Right? Or lawyer. We're not here to lawyer either, but it's fine.
I can't switch that off. I will say.
Come on, Limp.
Get the stand.
I know. Oh, man. Because,
We'll
okay.
fix that on the next.
Yeah.
He got to hold his mic.
It's getting annoying.
He got limp. He got limp mic. Shout out to bluetooth.com.
I will tell this. Okay. So, it is the one that I think you know. So, it segues from the previous question regarding what my pet peeve was, right? Mm-hmm. And this happens a lot, and as somebody that, J Ell is one of those you're one of those people that does the whole jam session sometimes. If you're not doing something,
Right.
You've got to keep yourself in rotation, whether or not your talent is, whether or not you're representing your talent there, or you're just trying to pass the time, or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't actually know how that goes. Because sometimes I really feel like you're having a great time, and sometimes I feel like you're like, man, I'm just here.
It's networking, man.
And I'm here, I'm on a job, and I'm going to get the hell out when it's 11:01.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been really fortunate to see you when you're having a great time, and that makes me have a great time.
Right.
So, and thank you for having a good time when you play with us, too.
You're
Jesus.
welcome.
Yeah. And so when some people are invited, not by me or somebody in the band, to come to a set, a show, and they are expected to get up. Listen, there are some people that I have that I have welcomed on the stage, and they have murdered whatever they were singing. It's a whole different story when you cannot carry a tune to save yours, your mom's, your grandmama's life, because it's like,
damn.
My husband will tell you.
They all in trouble.
Right.
Seriously, probably the top pet peeve of my life is a person that cannot do their job. If you don't know how to do your job, get out of the job and never speak to me about said subject matter ever again.
Yes.
This particular person has no idea that she doesn't know. This particular person has no idea that it's not in her purview to even know the job. It's like she had a resume and it was blank and she handed it in and they filled it in for her. And it's like,
that's a good way to put that.
I did my best.
That's a good way to put it.
It was horrible, and it was a realization I had on stage, talking about poker faces. Holy crap. I have never had to be more resolute than I ever had in my life. And thank you, Mom, for showing me how to and look away as if there's like a beautiful butterfly or something, so that I don't give myself away completely. And it's not that I did feel embarrassed, but I just felt embarrassed. It's like secondhand embarrassment. You know what I mean? Like, you feel bad for that person because you know they're living their dream, and you don't want to shit on anybody's dream. Yeah. But you also don't want to shit on my dream.
Right.
Facts.
Exactly. But because so to piggyback off what you said, I look at it like this, and this is why. So I hosted a jam session a while back, but I called it a open jam for a very brief moment. Right, and I stopped doing a jam session, and then
the people that come through
to open jams.
Go ahead, yeah, the open jams.
But then I started calling it an invitational. Excuse me, I made it an invitational, and it was like there was a certain requirement.
Okay.
Either for what I was hosting.
Yeah.
Either me or one of my bandmates had to be able to vouch for you, or I needed to see a video of you performing. My main requirement was don't suck. You know what I'm saying? For my it was called the Monsters Jam, and I only wanted monsters on stage.
It's a great name.
You know what I'm saying? It was a great name, but we might have to bring that back one of these days.
Is that trademarked?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I need to get some legal advice from you. But yeah. So we called it the Monsters Jam, and it's like, because my thing was, it got to a point, because even those people that you're referring to, right? From a business standpoint, those people will mess around and drive the customers out. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that happen. It's like, and like you said, they're on stage living their best life while people are being like, hey, let me get my receipt, let me get my tab. You know what I'm saying? And walking out. You know.
Yes.
And a lot of times, and again, there's perspective. There's different sides of it. You know, a lot of times the people that's running those jams, you know, they're trying to be nice. They're nice people. They're good people.
Right.
You know, and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, bro, you know, you really didn't have to let that person on stage.
No.
And so this is the other side of that, right? Another reason why I called it the Monster Jam and really wanted to focus on the good people, right, was because, so especially the way I came up, I wasn't allowed to just play any and every time that I wanted to on somebody's stage.
Oh.
I got humbled very early. You feel what I'm saying?
I get you.
Oh, yeah.
I got humbled very early. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, bro, not like you know, I play drums, so it's like, hey, nah, come.
Y'all switch.
hey, y'all, y'all do that, and so what that did for me was, it took away that sense of entitlement for me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we kind of lost that, especially when it comes to a lot of these jam sessions. I feel like we kind of lost that, saying, now this is what happened. It wasn't, you know, you come off and then they didn't just throw me away. They said, hey, you're not ready right now, but, you know, I can give you some tips, or I can help you a little bit and to help you get better. And when you're ready, you can get on stage, you know, you can get back on stage. You know, I'm not going to kill your dream at the same time.
I'm going to help you grow it.
Exactly. And I think, a part of that is, nowadays, people are so sensitive. People,
yeah.
You know what?
Do tell.
People are
You know
sensitive.
what?
People are entitled, or even the people that are letting, or even the people that are giving them that platform. They're like, you know, hey, you know, I can see something. I can see something from you. I'm screwing you right now. And I feel like if I, you know, tell you, tell you no, you can't sing no more, then I'm gonna stop being able to screw you. You know what I'm saying?
Which is probably true.
You know what I'm saying? Which is probably
honest.
true. But we're talking about the art. We're talking about,
Yes.
To me, that takes away from the people who have worked their ass off to be on that stage, to be on that platform. That takes away from them. That's saying, these people who don't have that certain amount of talent or whatever, they're on the same level as you. No, the F they not.
Dude, they are, but in the, with their mouth. Because prostitution is the oldest profession in the world.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, it's like no, bro, you didn't put in the time that I put in.
Hell no.
And it shows.
Yes.
And it shows. You didn't put it. You didn't put the time in. You didn't put the work in. You didn't put the ethic in.
You didn't. Yes, practice for 6 months before you step one freaking foot
right
on stage.
Right. So the fact that you're letting this person be on stage with me, who has put the time, who took 6 months.
That's a punch in the nose.
Man, that's real.
Punch in the nose.
You know what I'm saying? It's like yo, bro. Like you're innately you're telling that person. You're telling that person that they're on the same level as me. And,
Right.
bro, they're not.
You have devalued me without saying a word.
Come on, man. And I think, let me calm down real quick. But
calm down.
Hey,
Getting
bro,
worked up.
Woosah.
bro.
Need more Henny and the Henny get Gatorade.
The Hennerade.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but no, well, that'll make it worse, actually. But now, man, I think we need to... I think we need to look at that, like really pay attention to like who we let. Now there's because I try to look at the spirit in which people do things, right?
Sure.
Perfect example. I just recently played with CT Davis at the Forum.
He's so great. I'll be
You know
there
what
on
I'm saying?
Wednesday with him.
Word. Dope.
He's fantastic.
Dope.
And good person too.
Great person. Great person. We're gonna have him on the show soon.
Oh,
good.
So,
and there was this kid. There was this kid that came in. One, it was his birthday, and two, of course, he a kid. He's starting out. Stuff like that. Was he like the whoever you think your greatest guitar player is? Was he that? No. But
did he suck? No, not for a kid starting out. That's what I'm saying.
Well. So this is my thing. I know kids. I know kids that will play grown men. So my perception is a little bit different.
I get you.
Shout out to my nephew PJ Pugh. But my thing is the spirit in which he was on stage. It was more so to push, elevate, encourage, not privilege. That makes sense.
The fact that you can dissect that and
You
see
feel what I'm saying?
that's good.
That he was playing. He was playing, and so it almost came off like a recital. You know what I'm saying?
Aww.
But he was playing, and everybody was cheering and blah blah blah. As opposed to this grown ass random chick who can barely hold a tune in a bucket, just getting up there just because she got she has an end. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a difference.
On the director's couch, is that
Casting couch.
Type shit. There's a difference. There's a difference in those attitudes of getting somebody on stage. You know what I'm saying? And I'm more so towards the former than the latter. You know what I'm saying? I'm I'm not interested in that person that doesn't put any work in. Like even with that kid, you can tell that he was legit trying. You could tell that, you know what I'm saying, you could tell that he'd been in his bedroom working on some Led Zeppelin solos and, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And he did the best he could, and it was great. It was great. And in that particular situation, I say, oh yeah, because, you know what I'm saying, because, he a kid, it was his birthday. He was turning 15. You know what I'm saying? And, and you can tell. But as opposed to this person who's privileged to privilege, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like if a person like that get on stuff, I'm like, no, bro.
Absolutely.
Good.
If I can just turn to Devil's Advocate real quick. Maybe not the Devils, but it's definitely a little bit of a different take on why you would want someone to play like that. It definitely reflects good on you as an artist if you give the people a very lovely human interest story.
Right, okay.
So, not that this isn't the most amazingly wholesome thing, but it definitely beats the hell out of prostitute gets on stage versus, my best friend's nephew lives his birthday dream.
Right.
Yeah.
Two different perspectives.
And then on top of
But
that,
it helps
Yes.
the artist.
Because it shows you care.
Right. And I'm not saying you do or don't. It's just it's better.
Man, listen. Even at that gig I was talking about, shout out to the OG Jeffrey Grits Lewis.
Yes,
Oh my
I
God.
love him.
Bass player.
He is so good.
Would love to have him on the show one day. We just gotta make sure his knees is right before he get here. I can say that because
Come on, Jeffrey.
but
Get him a lazy boy.
right. But even that same gig that I was talking about with the gig, yeah, and anybody who know Grits, he was like, he's talking with his hands, and he was like, yeah, man, it's a real good kid. It's a real good kid, man. Yeah, it was a lot of encouragement. It was a lot of encouragement.
That's
It was a lot of, but again, if you ever gig with Grits, you know what I'm saying, he will side eye. I'm playing on drums, he playing bass, and he'll side eye you like, nah, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And
Mine's a tap on the back.
Clearing the throat. Excuse me.
I love Grits because he uses a lot of metaphors. He uses a lot of metaphors, and he's very very subtle with his the things that he said. If sometimes fish fly and birds swim, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So
A man that sleeps on the floor will not fall out of bed.
Right.
if you get what I'm saying.
A man that stands on the toilet is actually high on pot.
That's good.
Shout out to Jeff Grits Lewis, man. But Lou Paul, where we at with it?
Yep.
It's about that time, ain't it?
Yeah, man. We got what how we doing on time, Professor, man?
We got about 10 minutes left.
We got about 10 minutes. We got anything else we need to get
I
off
do
our
have a
chest?
question. I
Okay.
meant to ask this to Rachel. We talked about it earlier, but you didn't give me a real good answer.
Call me out. Do it.
So why is it when we was doing our research, we couldn't find any personal pages for you? So I want to know. I know you say
I
you
love
don't.
the evil laugh.
She's anti-social. Yeah.
Right. No, I want to know why you don't have any personal social media pages.
It's easy. Who on the damn earth has time for it? Do we actually have the time? We don't. And I knew.
When you're doing something.
Well, even when you're just at home being a housewife, and not that housewives don't have real jobs, but if you're a housewife and you've got kids, that's a full-time gig, that's a full-time commitment, and you're diverting precious mental resources to, is my husband and my marriage, does it look as good as my girlfriend down the street?
Good point.
And it's just like, as my vacation is good as theirs? Is my I had a wedding. I went through this, and I planned my wedding. I had a wedding planner, but even I did everything right, and I was still like, is it good enough?
By the way, their wedding pictures were dope. She was fixing his tie and all that stuff. We do our research here on DFW Shed Sessions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like super dope.
Well,
she was fixing his tie.
Shout out to the photographer Ellen Ashton. Is the best photographer in Dallas.
We don't promote other photographers, but
wedding. Sorry.
Hush. He only saying that because of him.
She's on the cover of D magazine. I'm sorry.
Okay. Another Groove project will be on somebody's cover soon.
Oh my gosh.
My bad.
Probably the AVN Awards, but we'll see.
I did not mean to.
Entitlement over there. Go ahead.
I struck a chord.
No, you good.
I digress.
You good. I died of fuck Grace.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, social media to me, I don't know, man. My addictions are wine and food, and not just like any food, but like comfort food. Like we made chicken tikka masala, and
yes.
I ate every damn bit of it, and I put extra mayonnaise in it. I work out so that I can still fit in my clothes, but I already have addictions. I don't need another one.
Rachel, if you don't mind me asking, what do you work out in?
What do you mean?
What do you like,
clothes?
The clothes you, yeah. What
Horizontally or vertically?
Hey, Brian, you all right over
Right,
there?
I'm about to say. I mean, workout clothes.
Like what type of like, you know, do you work out in hoodies and stuff like that, or?
Oh, not really, because I do like
Brian about to come over and shut all this down.
And I run a lot. But I tell you what, though, I have a newfound obsession with oversized hoodies.
Okay.
And
Me too.
they are like
This is
dresses.
where we were going.
Right.
Okay.
So
It's coming
We
together
good,
now.
Brian.
I'm
You just
always know that I'm
just-
5 steps ahead of you.
Jesus Christ.
So when I recently purchased my favorite article of clothing.
Oh my
and it
gosh,
was-
that's where this was headed?
Yeah, come on, man.
Goodness.
Did you not see this? It is a one. It is
just
a.
suspicious, brother, the way it started.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Where you
I
work
knew
out
it.
in?
I knew where he was going.
Yeah.
So I
As
give this
long
bullshit answer.
As long as her and Brian knew
Yeah.
where I was going,
Oh, no.
that's all that.
Just so y'all know, for if I'm ever welcome back on the show, which I hope I am.
Of course you are.
Brian is my best friend.
This is definitely
he
a part
knows
two.
everything.
No, high key. So for the people that's watching, you know, of course we do our prep and everything beforehand. And Brian is definitely somebody I would love to give a microphone to.
He's funny.
Like
He's hysterical.
especially the interaction. You know what I'm saying, between them
two, yes.
And we've had
love language, I love it.
we've actually only had one couple. It just so happened that they were both artists.
Okay.
They were both artists, and they're
That can
married.
be really cool.
Yeah, so so shout out to Kai and Marty, but we love to on DFW Shed Sessions, we love to deep dive into those conversations that musicians and artists don't normally have about, like I was saying earlier, about how to balance the whatever. So this is definitely one of them situations where we would have to have you guys back and actually give Brian a microphone and give
come sit on the couch.
Yeah, man,
give his. As a matter of fact, Brian, like just come say hi to the camera real quick.
You gotta know how to mix the salt.
She
and
said,
pepper.
"Honey, child."
He gotta put.
He had to put on his
He gotta
jacket.
get fly.
He's
Come
got
on, get
He gotta
fly.
fly.
just plain old West in the house.
Just say
Just say hi to the camera.
Just say hi to. Hold on. Tell the people how real quick. Hold on. Stand right here.
This is Rachel's better half here. Just saying hi.
Good God.
I love that coat.
All he wants for
love
Christmas
that coat.
is new hair product. My
Jay,
God.
you like that coat?
Hey, I'm with the peacoat, man.
Yeah.
I'm with the peacoat. Shout out to my little brother Bo Dove. He blessed me on the peacoat game, so he
good.
got me into it.
Right, brother.
That's what I'm saying. Seriously, all the crap I give, like Brian is the best of the best, but he's actually a phenomenal dresser, and that wasn't me. He did this beforehand. So I got to give it up to his sisters and his mother.
Let me ask you this, because this may or may not be important, but let me ask you this: does he ever But because again, I've had the pleasure of working with Miss Rachel. And, you know, and like if you ever see her on stage, there was only one time, and it was actually at the Forum. It was actually at the Forum.
Oh my, that was Thanksgiving.
It was actually at the Forum where you came to the stage. I'll just say she was just very comfortable.
I looked like a lumberjack
She was just very comfortable.
that had her third helping of mashed potatoes.
Which you probably did, right?
A fifth, but that's fine.
But so when it comes to your wardrobe on stage, do you ever does Mr. Brian does he ever say, hey babe, you should wear this, or you should wear this, or nah, that doesn't look like
do he lay your clothes out?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Like I am a shoe file. What do you call those? I have an obsession with shoes.
Okay.
And like I said, I modeled back in the day, so clothing they're not clothes. They're not pieces of clothes. They're pieces. They're not clothes. So no. He's the one that says, Rachel, this is the 5th outfit you've put on. Get in the freaking car. We are 15 minutes late because if y'all know me, if I'm on time, it's great. I'm always on time, but on time is early, right? In the music industry.
The band is going to get there before her.
Yes. I really do my best. I mean, I'm like you said earlier. How do you balance it all? I don't. I get there as soon as humanly possible, after I can like decompress from fire number 1, fire number 2, fire number 3, and then I get there, and I'm on time, but I'm early as I can be. So
No, and I want to make this clear: the show is not going to start late.
Exactly.
The show is not going to be late. If you ever get the opportunity to see Rachel, Patman, and Co. Show is not going to start late. It's just that you might see the band before you see her.
If I'm there before y'all, somebody has died.
Something's wrong.
Yes. Something is wrong.
There's something wrong with Grit's knees.
Oh.
Something wrong with his knees.
Oh.
Get up off of his knees.
No, I will not. But he needs to. But anyway, so man, listen. It's been
Can I also plug Playtown? I've been playing with them lately.
Playtown.
Yes, Playtown is a wonderful band. They've been playing out in Fort Worth a lot. So Tone and Danny over there, it's just been a phenomenal experience.
But hey, listen, this was another dope episode.
This
man.
was really dope, Rachel.
Another
Thank
good
you.
episode.
So good.
We'd like to really
And
thank
Brian.
you for coming. And Brian.
And Brian.
Shout
Had a
out to
great
Brian.
conversation. Great company. Great time.
Poor
Great
Brian.
time, man. But hey, man, listen. So DFW Shed Sessions, check us out. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that good other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then
TikTok.
TikTok, you know what I'm
LinkedIn.
saying?
LinkedIn. See, I need to get LinkedIn now.
We
got me.
need to-
You don't know what you're missing.
You know, hey, we need
That's
to.
just another page for you to manage.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
eHarmony.
Oh my
almost.
God, this is
She said
eHarmony.
eHarmony.
Hey, listen. Hey, we might be able to set up an OnlyFans for
I
DFW.
might have to hire me a assistant off of Fiverr or something. To get all these doggone
Fiverr.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all check out our Black Planet page and
Sir.
you know all that.
All right, we start this rambling. We see y'all.
all that good stuff. Luke Paul got weird tattoos, but listen,
Music notes.
weird tattoos. But listen, we out. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and joining us. And remember,
No. Cut.
remember, it ain't gonna suck itself. God bless y'all.
Jesus Christ.